Well, greetings from the bustling and busy urban core of Seoul, South Korea. You know, this is a fascinating part of the world with all kinds of sights and sounds and amazing and wonderful people. It's also a region that is rich with a dramatic and sometimes dark history. In fact, since 1953, over 76 million people here on the Korean Peninsula have seen two warring narratives take root. One from here in Seoul offers hope for the future. It speaks of freedom and growth and joy. But just 35 miles north from where I'm standing right now, a very different narrative has taken root. Born of fear and insecurity, it speaks of death and destruction and oppression and intimidation. And you know, this got me thinking, this struggle between two competing stories, one of hope and life and one of death and destruction. It seemed a fitting metaphor to describe the spiritual struggle in the heart of every man and woman and child. We know that everyone in the world wants to be happy. But in order to achieve that desire, oftentimes we pursue the deception and lives of an evil deceiver. We're told things like comfort can satisfy, power and money and sexuality can satisfy, but at the end of the day, we know that all of these things will only lead us down a path of darkness and sorrow. But when the gospel breaks in, and when we begin to see Jesus Christ as the supremely valuable treasure that He is, well, the peace of God floods our hearts, and our deepest longings can be made whole. God's desire for glory and our pursuit of happiness, these desires are not at odds with one another. In fact, they're inseparably intertwined. God is most glorified in us when we are most satisfied in Him. And at Desiring God, we call this truth Christian Hedonism. And the spreading of this truth is what we're all about. So why am I sharing this with you today from Seoul, Korea, of all places? Well, it's simply for this. I wanted to say thank you, because as a donor of Desiring God, your partnership with us in this mission allows us to take Christian hedonism to the world. For example, our founder, John Piper, has just finished speaking this message of hope and joy in Jesus Christ to over 25,000 people, both here in Seoul and previously in Hong Kong as part of this preaching tour of Asia. And yet, it would not have been possible. I would not be standing here, and Pastor John would not have spoken, and the message of Christian hedonism would not be bearing fruit in the lives of people, not just through these live events, but by the millions every month at desiringgod.org, were it not for your support, for your prayers, for your financial gifts, and for your heart-level investment in this mission. And so I just wanted to say thank you. We are so grateful that you've chosen to walk alongside us, as together we communicate a message of life and hope and eternal joy to a world that so desperately needs to hear it.